piece is Clair de Lune by Claude Debussy, and it's led me to realize what a great composer Debussy was and how he managed to accomplish something as a musician which I can only put in a very sort of brief way of saying that he managed to rise to the challenge that the musical elements pose to every musician, composer who wishes to work with them. And in this piece, Clair de Lune, Debussy takes on the challenge of the inevitability of the dominant chord, in particular the dominant seventh with a suspended fourth, which sounds something like this. My tonic key, D flat major. When I have a dominant seventh, it's going to go straight back to the tonic. And that's the resolution which we feel to be so inevitable. When there's the fourth suspension, it sounds like this. And that has been used ad infinitum for centuries before Debussy puts it in all its inevitability in this piece. However, he manages to overcome the inevitability to such an extent that we barely notice it being there. And yet, in very important places in the piece, the inevitability is there. For instance, there it is. You hear it. But instead of just giving us a chord of the tonic, he brings us back to the wistful melody which is there at the start. It sounds like this. There's the dominant seventh. Another one. And another one. Here it comes. And we're satisfied. But the melody comes back. It's bigger this time. Coming, that's the suspended fourth. That's the dominant seventh in all its inevitability, but it's been all over the place. Dominant seventh. He's just brought it into F minor. Made it into a dominant seventh. Dominant seventh. Dominant seventh. Dominant seventh. Dominant seventh. Simply melodic. Dominant seventh. And again. So on numerous occasions, he's giving us a dominant seventh, but he just pretends that it's not inevitable. And that should go. And he just simply just does. He's free to overcome the inevitability of the dominant seventh, and it's this inevitability of the dominant seventh which determines the functionality of harmony in so much classical music. However, the classics and the romantics had not that much of a problem with it. The romantics more because it brought you so strongly back to the root note, which unfortunately was that very feeling of, yes, here I am, I stand on the earth, resting in myself. That experience was no longer really legitimate. The feeling was, no, I am sick, I do not stand in myself, there is too much unease, dis-ease in my soul for me to just happily stand in that experience of the tonic. And that experience of the world is right, as it is expressed in the experience of the tonic, had to be lost. It had to be given away, thrown away. And the worst throwing away, I believe, happened in the 20th century, where the lack of musicianship on behalf of too many composers to get them to withstand the power of that dominant and yet still allow it to be, just simply wasn't there. It was too strong, rather. The lack of musicianship was too strong. And so we were given systems of composition which simply bypassed that harmonic function altogether. And I believe Schoenberg was a bit of a culprit on that front. Not only he. And we were left with an awful lot of cacophonous noise that nobody really wants, nor can do much with, even if they do want it, apart from perhaps brag about the fact that they've got it.